In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Nooie Cam 360, model number IPC100. It's a Wi-Fi camera. We're going to talk about likes and dislikes, obviously. First off, just opening the box. I did do a box opening portion of the video just because they're so incredibly boring. But it's real heavy. You can tell it's robust. I like the feel of it. It comes with a pretty decent cord. It's somewhere around 5 feet. Probably, give or take, and standard, just USB. I think it runs on one app. This is the micro USB. It plugs into the Nooie Cam, 90 degrees, and it's actually the way it's made. It's kind of difficult to take out once it goes in. So let's see. It snaps in quite hard. Let me see if I can get it. I'm trying to work around a camera. There we go. And then the first time I tried to take it out, it was really difficult, but for some reason that seemed to be pretty simple. Now, there we go. It's probably just a use issue. I mean, that's just something to note. It looks like about a 5-foot cord. I didn't measure it, probably in the specs somewhere on the website. But the people at Tekken were gracious enough to just send this to me for a review. So let's cue the cheesy cinematic footage. And welcome everyone. You've noticed here that the Nooie Cam looks the same size as this little owl on the right side of the screen. We've liked having it there. It's been keeping a watch over our living room for the past, I think it's been about a month now. Tekken representative sent it to me for a review. Here I am off in the distance. I'm in the kitchen, and you can kind of see my hand in the center of the screen. I just kind of wanted to see how the resolution would pick up at that distance. And just going through the motions of the camera, pan and tilt. Right here, I'm not sure if I did the up and down on it, but it works the same way. And I'm going to show you via my iPad how you turn the camera. It's backwards to me and how it works, but it's not difficult once you get used to it. We'll get into some likes and dislikes here shortly. Yeah, there's a little up and down action, but that's just pretty straightforward. Most of your pan-tilt cameras, they work either with a slider button for up and down, left and right, or this one actually doesn't have any of that. You just kind of have, it's intuitive. You have to slide your finger across the screen. Here's a little night shot, and that flash was me taking a screenshot to show you a little black and white still photo. This is one of my little gripes I had with the Nooie Cam, albeit a small gripe. The SD card, the micro SD card, was a real major pain to push in and click. It's not just a push in, it actually does click and lock in, which is nice if it's easy to access. Here I'm kind of trying to do it over the camera, and I finally got it, but it's difficult. Here I am trying to show you the delay with a snap and a record, and it was there was a substantial delay. I'm trying to talk to my daughter over Wi-Fi via the internal microphone. I just told her that there's a huge delay with me speaking and when she's responding. Notice how my voice is completely jumbled. My voice is completely jumbled, but hers comes in clear on the recorded version of the clip.
You're welcome.
So
Bye.
I didn't really care for that, but it is what it is. Alright, so I just want to go through some of the functionality of the app. Now bear in mind, this iPad is extremely old. It's just kind of one of those things that it just needs to be replaced. But when you touch it, and this works for the iPhone as well, they seem to be functioning the same, iPad versus iPhone. You can touch it, in the top right hand corner you can record. You have to allow access to your photos. So click record, There we go. Now I'm recording this clip of what it's seeing in the living room right now. Stop recording. Sends it down here. Tells you that it's stored into your photos. And you can access video saved to photos right there at the top of the screen. I think you can see that. Let me pan and do this. You can take a snapshot with that screen, with that button right there. Little camera icon. This is how you use the microphone right there. Allow access to your microphone. And then it's playing. I can hear it. I don't know if it's going to pick up in this camera or not, but that's how that works. Over Wi-Fi, of course, all of that is kind of going to be really dependent upon your Wi-Fi connection and just overall service speed of your internet. Let's get out of here and go to settings. Alright, so I'm kind of struggling with reflections and getting all the light where it needs to be. But as you can see, someone's walking around in the living room there. It looks like my wife came home from work. You cannot access the settings in landscape mode. You have to turn it this way. Once that happens, again, sorry for the reflections, you have to choose the gear in the top right hand corner. At that point, you'll have access to your settings. Audio recording, status light, you can turn your little blinking light off and on the front of the Nooie Cam. You can rotate the image. Everything's kind of self-explanatory. Motion tracking is a little bit of an issue when you have more than one item in the room that's moving at the same time. With one object that enters the room, it'll track and pan just perfectly with one object. But more than one, so they come in from different sides, it kind of freaks out and he wants to just find the nearest one that's moving. Or in succession, the next one that moves, and it'll do that. So it's hit and miss for motion tracking for me. I don't know that I'll necessarily need it. Video quality, you know, I have it set to normal. I can't tell a lot of difference between it and high, but I'm sure there is. Motion detection works. I cannot get sound detection to work. You click sound detection. I have it set on high and every day of the week at 24 hours a day. So I can't get sound to make it record a video clip to the hard drive. That's just it could just be something, you know, need a firmware update. It could just be the one I have. I think these are relatively new. Storage, click storage. It'll show you what you have available. Free. What I click? Yeah, storage. 28 gig free of 28 gig. It's a 32 gigabyte hard drive. You can pay for cloud service for $5 a month, I think it is. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure how much cloud service is, but it's not really bad. If you and that would be really nice if someone stole your Nooie Cam. At least you would have some video footage stored to the cloud. So, but other than that, that's the setting list is pretty straightforward. All right, some things that took getting used to, and bear in mind my iPad is slow and there's going to be a delay. That is not a reflection on Nooie Cam, it's a reflection on this old iPad. But to pan one direction or the other, you have to touch and swipe in the opposite direction. So let's say I want to pan to the right, I have to touch and move my finger to the left. Just like that. Knowing where it's going to stop panning is almost impossible. I had no idea where that was going to stop, and no one will. It doesn't matter how fast your system is. If when you let go, it's going to move, and how far it's going to move, you know, is anyone's guess. Especially if you have a Wi-Fi system that's lagging, that just doesn't have a big bandwidth, or you have old equipment that you're trying to use like me. Alright, so as always, and with most of my reviews, you know, I don't have anything written down or scripted. I just kind of give it to you as real as possible, and that's as real as it gets. I don't pull any punches with my reviews. This was given to me, and I'm really super thankful for the Tekken representative that trusts me to give an honest review, and I like the camera. I recommend the camera absolutely at that price point. I think that you're going to get out of it what you expect. Voice, when you talk to someone via Wi-Fi, say you're in a different state and you're using Wi-Fi via your carrier's data for your phone or a Wi-Fi service of a hotel or whatever, and you're talking to someone, don't expect that to be perfect. It never has been, and as far as I know, there isn't anything out there right now that can really keep up with a voice conversation, other than a cell phone, or data phones or cellular phones. Satellite phones, that's a different story. But as far as just these IP cameras, these Wi-Fi cameras, it's just going to be, you're going to talk, it's going to be a second or more, then they're going to hear what you say, then they got to talk, and then you're going to hear what they say, maybe. And it's really, I have 4 dairy cams, and they're all very terrible. This is actually better than that. The Nooie Cam did a better job of the over the Wi-Fi type, data type communication that the cameras are capable of. But just don't expect much from them. If you want to talk to someone, call them on the phone. When you get close to the camera and there's a lot of light in the background, for instance my living room, and I was trying to do that snap thing to see what the delay was in the recording, it's going to just darken me out. You can barely see me because of the light in the background. And that applies to a lot of IP cameras because I'm smaller than the whole object is, and basically the camera has adjusted for the total light in the background. Now as far as night vision, getting really close to it, I haven't done a lot of tests like that, but it's what I did see was really pretty good. It was much better than the Blink. I returned my Blink cameras. I didn't even do a review on them because they were so absolutely terrible. No one could walk. I had a Blink camera set up outside. People could walk up and get within maybe 15 feet of my steps to walk up to my front door. I couldn't tell who they were at night. Completely wiped out their face. And this Nooie Cam doesn't do that. It does a pretty good job of picking up and adjusting the intensity to let you see what you're, in detail, the object in front of you, in front of the camera. So I do recommend it. There are some things that take getting used to. I don't like how that you have to touch and move, and you have no slider bar with a dot on it that tells you where it's going to stop and panning when you start panning up and down or tilt. So that's a little bit kind of ridiculous, and they need to adjust that. But all in all, for the price point, it's recommended. But just understand those little quirks, and you may or may not like that. And you have to pay for cloud service. So thanks for watching. I hope some of that was informative, and please leave me comments if there's anything you want to know. And that's it. That's a wrap. Thanks for watching.